an EP that dropped just today, Dave, 1999, from our guy Rich Brian.
Yeah,
This
not the
is like
Joey
a
Badass mixtape.
no, not the Joey Badass mixtape for sure, but Rich Brian, 88 rising star and leader. We've talked about him a couple of times. Came out of that like what that I was gonna say TikTok, but that Vine world.
Fine. Yeah.
Really, man, I miss Vine, but TikTok also a very good app. And when we first reviewed him, I think we were pleasantly surprised, and we were like, "Man, this guy he really has something," and I think you can kind of see the potential here. And then on the second release, I think we kind of saw the growth and him
Mhm.
really becoming an artist and a producer, and really, I think, coming to his own. Do you feel like 1999 is a continuation of that for Rich?
Yeah, it's definitely a continuation of the growth, no doubt about that. And most of the stuff on 1999 he probably has dabbled with in songs we've heard before.
Mm-hmm.
On The Sailor, I think a song like 100 Degrees, one of my favorite songs off that track, and even Glow Like That from Amen. Brian has demonstrated interest in more melodic tunes and kind of just a wide ranging sound, which is, again, far different from what we expected from the guy who made Dat Stick when he used to go by Rich Chiga, right? So it's such a long way for a guy who's just about to turn 21. He's still incredibly young, despite
Yeah.
a solid output already. And I think 1999 does have a few of my favorite songs from his to date. I think there was some moments I didn't like quite nearly as much, but I think what's clear and what will stand the test of time is that Brian is really kind of like his label mate Joji. He's really just kind of an impressive artist that can do a lot of different things, and that's always exciting.
Yeah, I totally agree. I thought there was a lot of growth on this, and I don't think every song hits, kind of like you alluded to, like long run just didn't catch me very much. But the first track, sometimes, I thought that was an absolute hit, and probably one of the strongest songs we've heard from Rich Brian at this
Mm-hmm.
point. As well as DOA really stood out to me as just a really
Yeah,
solid track.
almost more dancey than he's ever done.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me a bit of like "Flock of Seagulls." I ran, a very famous '80s song,
Sure.
and I just thought it was really impressive that even in these like 6 or 7 tracks, he really was exploring a lot of different sounds while kind of keeping his like trademark like vocal performance and I think delivery on a lot of it. So it
Mm-hmm.
really felt of an artist, but still exploring. What song stood out to you, or what moments did you like the most?
Yeah, I actually didn't mind Long Run just as kind of like a standard Brian rap. I think that's probably because he didn't really have many other of those
Right.
on
Yeah.
the CP. Um, but Love in My Pocket, the first single, really stood out to me because that's a
Hmm.
song where you have the melodic and singing stuff throughout the first half of the song. He doesn't really do any kind of rapping till the end. And I just thought his flow was so impressive. Like when the beat, the
Hmm.
drum kicks back in with the beat and he just holds the flow. I think that one's a huge highlight for me.
Yeah.
But even song like Don't Care, and you mentioned sometimes, when he's really just kind of mixing it up throughout the length of the track, it's really fun.
Yeah. He does a really good job of jumping, I think, between the rapping and the more melodic stuff pretty well, especially for someone who's only put out, what he's been on 5 different records, maybe 6 different records and a couple of features.
Mhm.
It's he's still very young, like you said. So a lot to like here. I feel like I mean, the whole 88 Rising group we've really had our eyes on, but him and Joji just seem to be skyrocketing, man.
Mhm.
It's really cool to watch, and the more EPs we get like this, the more I think we're going to be looking forward to that next full length album drop.
Joji's album Nectar comes out on September 25th. Very excited about that.